Hi everybody, welcome back. Just showing you the sort of completed diorama that I've made now for the corner of the layout using those scale scenes house street back buildings that I constructed. So I'm very pleased with this really. It's just going to fit neatly in the corner, which I'll show you a little bit later on. So really simple really. Foam board base, cut it to the sort of the shape I need. Then I covered that in a couple of different scale scenes texture papers. This is concrete, this was a little bit of cobbling sheet there. I worked out where to put it just based on where the buildings fall. Used a little bit of walling I had just to put between the two there with some graffiti on it. And then this is a bit of scrap house back scene paper that I had, which I cut just to fill the gap as well. Put a small tree there. What I really enjoy doing is putting the bits of rubbish and junk. I've got a rusty old car there and some bits of junk there in the corner there and here. Then I used again some more warning sections I had, cut them to sort of the right shape, gently sort of teased this round a bottle to get the curved effect. So I sort of created the walling around the edge and finished it off with just a little bit of foliage, not very much around here, and a little bit of weathering powders as well, like for example the bottom of the stairs there, just where there'd be sort of more higher traffic areas. So that's going to slot on the corner. I painted the foam board in brown because this is all going to be covered up with foliage when it goes down, but just don't want any white showing. Just show you around the back. So yeah, you can see where I just stuck simply the piece of paper house cut out there just to cover the gap. And the cars, by the way, these are just ones I purchased some time ago. I used to be able to get these. A chap, I think his name was Red Andy, he used to sell these on eBay. I'm not sure if he still is. They're not cheap, but they're 3D resin printed, and he sends them. They're all painted. He paints them to a really good standard, so they're really good to have for Engage layouts. So these two cars, I didn't make them myself, but they were purchased from him. So yeah, so that is ready to go. I used took advantage of this for the first time. So I bought this some time ago. This is you can see what it's called there. It's like a small box full of little bits and bobs you can use for making your dioramas. So it says it's 1/160 scale, which is good enough for using for Engage. The company that makes this is called Julian's, so it's somewhere obviously from abroad, not that well known, but I don't know if you can still get these. But if I open it up, you can see it's great really for using on your layouts and making bits and bobs. You've got some rusty barrels, some tires, some coal, some rubble. You've got some rusty train wheels there, some rusty metal, paving slabs, and the absolute tiniest bricks you've ever seen. So a little set like that is going to go a long way. That's fantastic for just adding those little bits of detail to any corners of your layout and any bits of junk and rubbish that you want to sort of populate your area with. So I finally made use of that. I've raided the parts box for bits and bobs that I'm going to put in place on the layout. I'll move over there now and show you what I'm thinking of doing. So here we are now back over to the layout. I was just showing you this. So this is going to slot over here in the corner. Obviously I'm going to glue that in place. So that's going to go neatly there. The gap here between the retaining wall and the wall yard there, that's going to have sort of foliage to fill the gap. And obviously something in front as well, not decided yet. But I've been looking at bits and bobs of spares I've got, bits of old walling and things like that. So I've got these offcuts I had of concrete. They were a bit bigger than this. Let me go show you there. So I've cut these down to the right size. So again, scale scenes, that's dirty concrete. I've used this one before. That's just on 1mm grey board. So that I've cut to the right size. That's going to go there. So right up to the wall, that's going to sort of form the start of the next yard area. This is the remaining bit I've got of this paper backscene houses. So I'm going to glue that in place sort of like that to cover up the hole there between the buildings. And then previously I probably showed you, and I can't remember, so I made these low relief warehouse scale scenes buildings, 2 of them. Now what I've done is I've actually, I've not done it on this one yet, but I've cut the platform bit off because I don't really obviously have much depth there, and it's definitely going to look better without the platform. So taking a sharp knife, I've carefully cut all the way through the bottom of that one. So that's pretty much probably going to be discarded, and that's what I'm going to be left with. And so, by the way, this bit here, there's a nasty glue stain there and a join, so that's quite nice there because it covers up the glue stain. And then just before the edge of this housing here runs out, I'm going to place the, if you can picture it, the 2 buildings are going to go there like that. That one won't stay up now because it's too thin, but that's going to sort of then go across there. And then in front of the housing here, I'm going to have a small wall section. So again, looking at the scraps, I've got a bit of 1mm walling here. What I'll probably do is use that and sort of construct a gate, something like that. So that's going to sort of be the right length. That's going to go in front of the housing there. You can sort of imagine how that's going to look. And then covering up the white foam here. Again, off cut, I've got some sort of paving slabs. Haven't decided whether I'm going to use that or, again, a strip of asphalt effect scale scenes again. So stick that onto 1mm, and that's going to go in front of these buildings here. And so it continues. So I'm just going to be building up the back as we go along. So hope you can sort of get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm really pleased with how that's going to be looking. Certainly really pleased with how that nice scene over there looks. First time I've done constructing a diorama off the layout and then sort of placing it in one go, but it definitely is easier and a lot more pleasant to be working on something off a baseboard rather than constantly having to lean over and glue one bit on at a time. So it's definitely a technique I think I'm going to do more of, and I have seen people do that on other videos, and I can understand why that works quite well. So yeah, I'll get all this fixed in place nicely using those offcuts there to cut to the right size, getting those buildings finished, and then I'm just going to carry on working my way down, and then these buildings here again, put in place some appropriate flooring, bit of detail, and that will be the entire back scene finished then. So thanks for checking in, and I'll show you what I'm up to next time. Take care. Cheers for now.